I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. Today's video is part of a cereal challenge collab hosted by Tiffany at Smalltown Six. I'll link Tiffany's channel as well as the collab playlist in the description box below. As soon as you're done watching my video, be sure to check out the playlist for lots of yummy recipes using your favorite cereals. If you're coming to my channel from the playlist, welcome. I do weekly grocery hauls and what's for dinner videos and other foodie content. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you'll consider subscribing to my channel. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, I really appreciate you coming back to my channel and the support that you give. I've got two recipes to share with you today. One sweet using Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which is my personal favorite cereal, and one savory using Cornflakes. Let's get into these recipes. First up, I'm trying a new recipe for a cornflake ranch chicken. I will include the recipe in the description box below for this. Here are the ingredients that you'll need. You don't need a lot. This is a really quick and easy dinner to put together. It's budget friendly. You'll need some chicken breasts, butter, cornflakes. Here I'm using generic, but you can use name brand if you'd like. Some ranch dressing mix and Parmesan cheese. And a couple quick notes, I am halving the recipe and then I used about half the amount of Parmesan cheese that the recipe called for. Okay, so to get started, I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees. I've taken my cornflakes and I'm just going to place them into a Ziploc bag and then crush them up. I'm just using a rolling pin to do that. Once they're crushed up really well, I'm going to empty them into a dish. Next, I'm going to add in the ranch dressing mix. Then I'm going to add in the Parmesan cheese, and like I mentioned earlier, I cut the recipe in half because I was only using 2 chicken breasts, but then I also cut the Parmesan cheese in another half. I was just concerned that with the Parmesan cheese and the dressing mix that it would be too salty, but you can use the full amount if you'd like. I'm going to mix that together really well, set it aside, and then in a second dish, I'm going to add in the butter and just place that into the microwave until it's melted. Once the butter's melted, I'm going to take my chicken breasts and I'm going to dip them into the butter, and I'm going to make sure that the butter gets on all sides of the chicken. Then I'm going to dip the chicken into the cornflake mixture, and I'm going to just pack that on and make sure that, it's really nicely coated. And then I'm going to place the chicken breasts onto my baking sheet. Now what I've done is I have this baking sheet, I've lined it with a sil pat. You can also just use some foil. And you can omit the foil, honestly, too, if you'd like to. I just did that for easier cleanup. And then I have a wire rack just so the air can get around the chicken. And I'm just going to do that. And then I decided to spray it with a little bit of cooking spray. This just helps it to brown a little bit, but you don't have to do it. Then I'm going to place that into the oven. And I baked this for about 25 to 30 minutes. You just want to cook it until it is 165 degrees internal temperature. And then here is the finished chicken, and here's the finished plates. On this particular night, I made a Shoepeg Corn Salad. I have a separate video for that, which I'll include in the description box below. Now, I won't say that this is the best chicken I've ever had in my entire life, but it was a really quick and easy dinner to put together. It was really budget friendly, and we enjoyed it, so I recommend you give this a try. Next up, I tried another new recipe for a no-bake gooey s'mores treat. I'll include this recipe in the description box below, and again, I'm having this recipe. Very simple, you don't need a whole lot of ingredients. Essentially, you're just making Rice Krispie treats, but instead of using Rice Krispies, the recipe calls for Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You can also use Golden Grahams if you prefer. Then you'll need some marshmallows, butter, and chocolate chips. To get started, I have this sauce pot over about medium heat. I'm going to add in my butter and then the marshmallows, and I'm going to stir this frequently until the butter and marshmallows are completely melted. Once they're melted, I'm going to remove it from the heat and then add in my cereal. I'm going to stir that until it's well combined. Then I'm going to add in my chocolate chips and stir that again until it's well combined. Next, I'm going to take this mixture and place this into my baking dish. Again, I'm having the recipe, so I'm using an 8x8. The recipe calls for a 9x13. I'm going to take this spoon and just spread that out as much as I can and make it an even layer. And then I'm going to set this aside and allow this to cool for a couple of hours before I cut this into squares. And here are the finished treats. Now, I've mentioned before on my channel, I'm not a big sweets person, and when I do have a dessert, I usually like a fruit-based dessert, but I actually like these, and my husband loved them. He really, really enjoyed them, so I recommend you give these a try. This was a really easy dessert. And that's it for today's video. Don't forget to go check out Tiffany's channel as well as the collab playlist. And if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to my channel. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.